Alright guys, I'm back now that I have spent 5,100 minutes trying to remember what box I put my bolts in to hold the motor on the engine stand. But I found them. I got some bolts that are like 5 miles too long with about 5,100 nuts on the end of them that I've used for years. And not ideal, but they work. And I've used them. Matter of fact, I think I've only down to like one. I think I've got the rest of them switched out to the correct bolts, but I still think I got one janky bolt. I know this is some odd size. Still got me. Maybe I don't got the right ones that ain't got 5,100 janky bolts on them. All right, now that we got our super janky bolts back in, probably won't be able to turn the motor over, but we should be able to set it up on there now and start cleaning her up, taking her apart. All right, that's about 3 days too high. Now, how did I do this? Oh, I think I did it like this. This makes more sense. Yeah, but we're going to have to let her down. About 3 days. That is not how I did this. Maybe like that. Oh yeah, definitely like that. All right, let's raise her back up some. Definitely like that. Okay. All right, yeah, I think we can get her scooched back up on there now. All right, let's see. She's definitely still not quite far enough back. But I think we can probably let this down a little and scooch her on back a little bit more now that we got her on this other hook. Hopefully. Instead of me having to kill my back doing it. All right, oh, bolts in my pocket. Forward, forward, forward. Blam. Look at that. All right, well, got it on stand. Now I'm going to try to move some junk around so we got a little more room to work. And we're going to get her tore apart. All right, I'll be back in a minute after I clean up the mess that they normally do on commercial breaks on TV. All right, guys, we're back. Now that we've got the mess cleaned up, we're going to tear this thing apart so we can start freshening her up a little bit. All right. Start by taking, we should probably start by taking that off, but I'm going to start by taking the coils off because that's the socket on the gun. Timeout. I just thought about you guys is probably going to need more light. Always a light problem with this whole video and thing. All right, we're back. We got more lights so that way people can see. Should have moved the transmission too. I'm going to be stepping over that thing the whole time. Belt. We got to take this old crusty belt off. So we got to go get some wrenches. Oh yeah, I'm gonna move this so I don't trip over it. Yep, that's probably gonna start leaking. I might have to change this water pump for that bracket for the air conditioner. I might have to get the F-body one or the Gen 3 truck one for the AC air compressor bracket to fit right there. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. Guys, if you're taking one of these apart at home, you should probably put these in a bag and label them. All the bolts. That way you know where to go. It don't take that long to put stuff in a bag and label it. But I've done it with the blue gazillion of these things, so I pretty much know where every one of these bolts go. Oh, junk. Making a mess again. This thing is puking water everywhere. Alright, now we got the mess cleaned up. Dang it, this is one of them models with this stupid torque to yield thing. But I bet I could put a tensioner on it. It's got holes for it. I could probably get the style with the tensioner. I would rather have the style with the tensioner than this torque to yield. Or it's like a stretch to yield belt. Never turned out to be a good idea. I don't know about that thing. It sucks to get off. We're going to cut it and get a new one. Hopefully with a tensioner. Crazy. Let's see, take this thing off. All right. For a long time, I thought this was some genius idea. They had to put a hook on there for you to be able to work on it, but then they forgot to put a hole in it. Nope, that's not what it's for. It would be a good idea, but that's not what it's for. It was just for, like, if it was ever in an accident, it didn't smash the fuel rail into the firewall and break the fuel rail off. I'm not sure what the difference on if it was in an accident and it smashed the fuel rail into this piece of metal versus it smashing it into the firewall with a truck made a difference, but some engineer thought it was a good idea. And I'm sure they made money off the deal. Pocket pliers. Got to move the hose clamp. Never leave home without your pocket pliers. That thing looks a little jacked up. Easy. There we go. I do not know if I brought the tool to take the home mount balancer off or if it's at work. Gonna have to do some research on that. Alright, well, let's see if we can't spin her over and take the oil pan back off and the motor mounts back off. Without completely dumping it on the floor. And right here is probably where we're going to make a bunch more mess. Ooh. Not ideal. Yep. Definitely making a mess. There's one thing I am an expert at doing is making a mess. All right, the mess has been cleaned up. I guess I need to make a measurement of them mounts so I can put them back in the same spot. Probably be the best idea to do. Tape measure. Yeah, those should be flat. 11 3/4. So this one should be 11 3/4. Yeah. All right, 11 3/4. I'm gonna take a picture of that. All right, I'm back. Come to think of it, I don't really know why I took a picture of it. Took a picture of it to have it, but it's on video. I don't know. Still learning this video and thing, guys. We got to modify the windows tray too. I had to take the windows tray off to put the oil pan on because I got to cut it a little bit. Or not the windows tray, but the little splatter guard for the crankshaft. We had to modify it a little bit on the last motor this thing was on. All right. Not too shabby. All right. Now we take these motor mounts off, and then we need to figure out about the Hallmark balancer, and then we should be able to start wire brushing and cleaning her up a little bit. I thought about tearing this thing apart and putting a camshaft and all that other stuff in it. I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're just going to go for the fuel mileage tune and drive this thing. Let's face it, guys. She's not much of a hot rod. She's more like a ship. I'm not even going to call this thing a boat because it's big. Well, we got it apart. I'm gonna flip it back over the other way now and figure out about the Hallmark balancer tool here. And try not to dump it on the floor like I did a while ago. I guess I should have probably balanced it a little better, but it'll be all right. We'll make it happen. There we go. All right. I need to find another box. I'm out of boxes. All right, I'm gonna go find a bag to put my bolts in. Remember I told you about bags earlier? I know I got bags. I might not have boxes. My buddy Crazy Mike gave me these bags years ago, and I still got like 50, 1,100 of them left. They got a little label spot on them and everything. You can take the world apart. Ooh, she's still sealed up tight. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I'd say that thing was still sealed on there good. Man, I can't believe it, but these things ain't even hard. Normally, I take one of these off, and they are like hard as a brick and will break. These things are pretty soft. But yet again, it did have pretty low miles on it when I bought this thing. So I can't complain. At all. I don't know why I took that off. I should probably leave that back on there. Because I'm going to have to wire brush this. Or at least clean it up with a Scotch-Brite. She's dirty. Let's put it back on. At least put a couple bolts back in it. I don't know why we took it off, but we did. I guess we thought it was a good idea. Alright, now I'm going to go see about locating that Hallmark balancer tool. And I'll get back with you. Alright, we're back. Got her most of the way to the part here. We're going to try to get started cleaning this thing up and clean some of this grime and old, just dirty for it's been sitting for so long. It ain't really greasy, it's just nasty from sitting. So that's cool. I ain't got to clean a lot of grease all over it. I like to take or rubber gloves and stuff them full of like blue shot towels and then stuff them down in each one of them little holes. That way you don't get stuff down in the motor, because it would suck to do all this stuff and then blow the motor up because you got something down in there. So just take time, put something in the holes. I mean, after you get it all cleaned up, you can tape it up, but you can't tape it up until you clean it up. So just put something down in there until you get to where you can tape it up. Don't put something in the hole. Okay? But I like to just scrub it and clean it up. I'll take the wire brush on the drill and go down through it and clean it up. Just clean it up. There's no point doing all this work and have a janky motor sitting down in this thing. We probably should start with the wire brush now that I think about it. So let's move the lacquer thinner and the Scotch-Brite and move into the wire brush. Here we go. I hate wire brushing, but this is way better than sanding. Wire brushing. I used to have a little guy to help me, old Junior. Junior was the wire brush man. He hated doing it, but like he was really good at it. But he hated it, but he was good at it. I mean, man might smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day doing one truck, but he could do an entire truck chassis. Like, he would even get down into little nooks and crannies and everything. Like, he was good at it, but he didn't like doing it. I'd get him to do this now if he wanted to, but get him to wire brush, he wouldn't feel it. Oh, wife's home from town. Gotta go check on the wife. Be back. Alright, we're back. Back to cleaning. Alright, I'm gonna have to go turn on the air compressor. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. I turned the air on. While it's coming on, we'll keep on wire brushing. I'm gonna go get me a couple more wire brushes though. Oh, I got options. It's good to have options. Alright, we're back. We got some options now. This option is way faster than the option I did have. But these little ones like that, they work good for getting down in little cracks and crevices. But when you, this big flat one, that's where it's at for getting stuff done fast. Oh, the battery went dead. All right, gotta go get a battery. Got a battery, and you know, probably forgot to turn on the extra lights, cause you guys has got to have lights. I know that. Fun fact, most people that mess with LSs know this, but you can take this thing right here and you can take it out. Well, I said you could. There it goes. You can take it out and take the cap off, and the cap, well, every other model in the world it does, just fits right back on. Maybe this valve cover is different. Maybe it won't fit back on. Well, we're going to have to get the correct cap for this. This is crazy. We're not leaving that big of a looking thing on there. All right, well, the Gen 3 stuff, you can just unscrew that and screw it back on. But evidently the Gen 4, they changed it. Alright guys, well we've got most of the wire brushing done, so now we're going to get started trying to clean up nooks and crannies. I like to take this lacquer thinner, said a while ago, and I just like to take a Scotch-Brite and wipe it over, because that just gets the dirt out of the cracks and crevices and makes it a little nicer. Makes it where the paint will stick. That's what we want. It's the paint to be sticky. Might as well go ahead and clean the gasket surface up while I'm cleaning. Turn it up straight, I guess. You top, you go over to the other side, and you want to stay in front. I really need to balance this engine stand because this thing is a pain in the butt. We set it up one day for LS real fast and it just been like that. But it don't turn real easy because we ain't got it set up right. That's for sure. big piece. This one's got some little cracks. About me to get a brush. Let me go see if I got a little brush. Right, we're back. Got me one of these little brass brushes from the Harvester Freight. They work good for getting down these little cracks. Dip it down in the lacquer thinner and scrub away. The spots you miss with the drill anyway. It's hard to get some of the drill ones to get down in all the little cracks and crevices. And this side's got some pretty deep ones. Down here these. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Look at this thing painted up today. At least the block. I gotta take this front cover apart and take the front seal out and change some seals and stuff like that. So we're gonna get as much as we can done today. I'd really like to get all this done today so I could be bolting it back in after I say that next week I can be working on the chassis and painting it and putting it back together. Just gets down these cracks over there. This is pretty good, but I don't know. Found out that the more time you take on it, the nicer it's going to be in the long run. Kind of like our fall roll. We could have spent a lot of time on that, but just to make it nice. But we're trying to ride. We're going to spend that time on the motor to make it so we can ride. Pretty okay. Not bad. Alright, now we're going to see if I can get this pulley off with the front off. Rebuild this. This motor does have the VVT timing controller, and we'll probably go on the computer and just turn most of the activation off for it for right now. And after we get it running and drive it for a little while, we'll probably go through there and pull the cam out and do a VVT delete and maybe put a camshaft and stuff in it. What do y'all think? Should we leave it in there or take it out? Some people say that it helps fuel mileage, but I feel like it's probably just going to give something else to give trouble, kind of like that DOD crap. So I feel like it'd be simpler just to take it out and delete it. Alright, we're going to get on it. Ah, crap, I gotta go find my tool. Just take that off. Alright, guys, I'm back. I got my tool. And I got this Hallmark balancer tool right here. And I've had this thing for years. And it was designed for, especially for like the LS, I guess. It's designed to fit the LS truck pulleys and all the LS pulleys and stuff. And it was just a cheap little kit I got off of Amazon or eBay or somewhere like that. I don't remember. I've had this thing for a long time. But it comes with a little pulley. But it comes with this little Mickey Mouse looking little rod that's supposed to go in or the crankcase goes. But as you can see, when you try to use it, it gets twisted up like a 2-hour lawn chair. So it don't really do that good. So we took a big piece and we spun it down in the lathe that fits in the tool. So that way it goes up in there and then it don't look like that when you're done with it. So as long as you got that, it works pretty good. You just might have to do a little modifying. Get snugged up on there. I think it takes a 3/4 and a 15/16 just to hold it still. I actually think you can just put a ratchet at the end of it. Yeah, if you had a baby ratchet, we want the big ratchet for more leverage. You can put a 3/8 ratchet at the end of it. And I've had some of these that come right off. And then I've had some of them that is a bear to get off. Back up some. Give a man some space here. This one is one of those ones. This is from all them years living right here. This is one that just slides right off. Look at that. I mean, it ain't even giving no trouble. But you get some of them that are just a complete bear. Like, they just will not come off. Welding. Evidently, I did not make the little piece long enough that I stuck in the little tool the last time that I made one. So evidently I need to make a different one. Or get a different one. Oh, let's push down in there real tight. Okay, let's go get a different one. Alright, I found another one over there that I had made that is literally just a little pinchy wad longer. So I think this one's probably going to be long enough. Maybe I picked up the wrong one. I've made a couple of these over the years. Oh, that was the one. Look at that. Right off. Like a champ. Okay. Put this stuff back up, and then we'll take the cover off, the valve covers off. We'll clear it cleaned up and finish cleaning the last little pieces up and get it ready to paint. All right. We're going to take these valve covers off. We're going to take this front cover off, this valley pan cover off, because we're going to put new seals on all of that. So we might as well take it off, clean it up, paint it, and put new seals on it. We'll put it back together. And I should be able to look and see how clean the motor is on the inside. Man, she's stuck. This was a good gasket. Oh, heck yeah. Look at that. She looks pretty fresh in there. That ain't bad. Guess that's why people enjoy buying motors with low miles on them, because they ain't really been abused a whole lot. This one, hopefully it's going to turn out to be a pretty good one, because she ain't got that many miles. No, we're running out of places to put stuff. All right, let's stack that up right there. And then we'll take the other side off. I need to get this thing out. Still makes me mad about that, because like the other gens ones, you can screw it together. I wonder if this is just an odd cap or something. This one just will not go in there like that. This side's just as clean. That is nice. These rubbers ain't even hard. Normally they'll get all hard and junk. I guess, I mean, you'd thought this thing would have been hard as long as it's been sitting outside, but It's not. It's still nice and soft. I could have just kept on riding, but we're trying to make it nice. All right, let's take this front cover off. All right, I need a box for these. Well, instead of a box, I got a Crazy Mike bag. Look at that. We just put them all in a bag, and we'll know where they're at. Label your bolts, guys. Label your bolts. Unless you take a whole bunch of them apart, label your bolts. But I could look at these and be like, okay, yeah, these are timing cover bolts. But I got a marker, and it's got a label, so might as well just label front cover on it, or at least front. It don't matter if you spell it right or wrong, because let's face it, this fat kid's on a 3rd grade reading level, so I can't spell. So as long as I write it, then I should be able to read it. Now somebody helping me might be like, huh? But hey, as long as you know what it is, you can put it back together. All right, well now we got a tore apart. Oh no, we gotta take this top cover off. We'll get that tore apart, and then we'll finish cleaning up the last couple little pieces, and we'll see if we can't get her taped up. Give her the Krylon Kenny rebuild. All right, now what box did I put the rest of these bolts in? Here we go. In a bag. We put those in a bag, guys. See? Put them in a bag. Put them in a bag. Label it. You'll know where they're at. Oh, okay. This has been a good gasket. I think it's sealed on there. I wonder if they glue these things on factory. Man, that thing is real. All right. Now, I'll get my lacquer thinner and my Scotch-Brite, and I'll go around and clean this top surface up and this around this front part right here. And then we should be ready to tape it up. Put a little paint on it. How about that? Sounds exciting. Let me get something to stick down in them cam journals so we don't get dust down in there. We don't want to get dirt down there, guys. The little valley you can clean out pretty easily, but if you clean these out, then you don't get dirt down in there. That part you can clean out pretty easy. That is one thing that I don't like. That's like the only real thing I don't like about the LS. Like, when they designed this, why couldn't they have made the lifters come out? You gotta take the heads off to change the lifters. But at least they ain't that hard to do. All right, I'm gonna turn the air on, blow it off, and we're gonna get some parts cleaner, blow it off, and then we're gonna get some lacquer thinner, wipe it off. Then we're gonna tape it up. Then we're gonna paint it. And then we're gonna clean all these other little pieces up, put new gaskets on it, put it back together, put it in the truck. If you say it that fast, it don't sound that bad, does it? All right. All right, we got the air compressor on. Probably not built up enough air, but we're gonna give it a whirl. I should probably take them knock sensors off. I think it would be so simple just to take those off. Especially if it's the size already on the gun. It is. That was probably simple enough. Probably should clean up around those too. All right, what do I do with my little brush? There it is. Yeah. All right. Now, we're going to wash it off with some parts cleaner. Then we're going to wipe it down with lacquer thinner. Then we're going to put paint on it. Go ahead and clean these surfaces up now. You won't have to do it as much later. You'll still have to clean it up later, but it won't be as bad. Make sure you're getting all the cracks, crevices. Try to blow the dirt that you miss out. You know, because you can't get all of it. It's hard to get all that junk out. Let's face it, it ain't going to be nice for forever, but we want to make it as nice as we can while we can. The air compressor finally cut off. If you have your air compressor in your building, stop what you're doing after this video. Finish the video. Stop what you're doing and put that thing outside. It makes your life so much better, I promise. Build you a little shed over it or something. This is not good, guys. We're out of yoo-hoo. I'm going to have to get this taped up and painted, and while this paint's drying, I'm going to have to go get some yoo-hoos. All right. I do want to try clean that a little bit with my lacquer thinner. Get some lacquer and wipe this thing down. Wipe it down and we'll start taping it up. Instead of keep you wasting lacquer thinner, let's just wipe it down with the old tried and true glass cleaner. It works every other time. I'm just going to show you. You got to wipe that stuff down. We clean this thing up with parts cleaner, and it still got junk all over it. All right. Back at it. All right, let's make us a pile of junk right here. We're going to have to clean up. Okay. All right, we're gonna blow it off and let it dry for a minute. Tape it up. I like to paint the heads back cast aluminum so they look original, and then just paint the motor black. Just simple, no crazy colors, no nothing like that. Let's face it, if you spend a whole bunch of time and paint this thing some crazy color, when it leaks oil, it's still gonna be black. So if you're gonna drive this thing, now if you're not planning on driving it anywhere, yeah, paint it whatever color you want to, because you're gonna spend most of your life cleaning it if you're not driving it. But you're gonna drive it, paint it black, so that way when it does leak oil, you can't see it. Alright guys, well my phone managed to die in the process of taping this thing up, and I didn't realize that. So, but we got it taped up. I got 1 or 2 coats put on it. This is gonna be about the final coat, and then we're gonna get it untaped, and then we're gonna tape it back up after it dries. We'll have to let it dry. We'll tape it back up and paint the aluminum part. Alright, we'll let that sit there and dry, and as we're drying, we're going to start untaping this thing. One thing, this speed shop catalog right here is tough. I don't remember what the name of this company was that gave me this speed shop catalog, but they made it tough. I ain't kidding. You can leave it like that, it would be alright, but I got a lot of aluminum parts all the front. The accessory drive is aluminum and stuff, so I just paint it all and freshen it up. Alright, we'll let that dry, and then we're going to tape it up and paint the top. And then we get to start putting it back together. Alright, we're back. We got the motor taped up, we got the motor painted, and now I got my little helper. She's going to untape this thing, and then we're going to start putting it back together so we can put it in the truck. Alright, Haven, you stay untaping it. And tape it and put it in the trash. The trash is over yonder. You know where the trash is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna have to be walking back and forth.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I'm gonna start cutting these old gaskets off these bolts while you tape it, okay?
Okay. Tape it. Why in the world did you tape it anyways?
Because we painted the bottom of it black. You'll see when you get it untaped. You can just rip into it like a Christmas present.
Do you have a microphone?
Yes.
Daddy, even though this is not at my mouth, how can they hear me? Even though
They can hear you. They can
not
hear
at
you.
my mouth.
They can still hear you.
Tippy tippy. Tapey tape. Tapey tape. Tapey tape. One fell off. There. So tippity tape right here. Okay. Now wrap it with some tape. Like I'm... Daddy, even this?
All of it. All of it. Every piece of it.
Tippity tape right here. Tape. 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 Tippity tape it right there. Then line it over.
Put the trash right here, okay?
Okay. Tapey tape. Tape. Tippity tapey tape. Trash. Tippity tape. Tape. Then you tippity tape that across. I'm gonna have glasses, some of the best. The glasses, Yamaderas. That's where it teaches me I'm not gonna rest. I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling nervous. Oh, I'm gonna have a blast day, I'm not a rat. Baby, don't you know I'm good at being a rat? Tape. Daddy,
Yeah, Haven.
when I get all the tape off, what do I do after I throw it out in the trash?
Oh, we're gonna start putting the motor bed together. We gotta get this motor bed together so we can put it in the truck.
Oh, that's what we're gonna do
Yeah.
after this?
Yeah.
Oh. Tape.
I'm putting the gaskets together while you're doing that.
Daddy, look, I'm making me a balls, and I'm gonna keep it here, so don't throw it away, okay?
Yeah.
Does
You
that
see how big you can make the tape ball?
Yeah. Dad, can you help me
Yeah.
with some tape? That's a long piece of tape. Yeah, got it. Daddy taped something high. Daddy, why did you tape it that high, speaking of?
Well, evidently the gasket kit that I got did not come with new rubber O-rings, and I've already cut them off. So we're gonna have to go buy rubber O-rings. But I can put a bolt on it to hold it together. And then we'll go get some O-rings. And I might have some over there in the box.
But Ari, today, if you don't have any in the box, thingy,
No, if I don't have any in the box, I'll have to get some.
today?
Probably tomorrow when I go to town. Well,
Okay.
at least that'll hold it from falling off.
Here's a big piece of tape. Tippity tape that right there. Tape that right. Wait. Tippy tape that there. You tape another tippy tape there, and there, and there, and there, there, there. Tapey, tippy tape. I got a tape ball. Oy. Oy. Oh, my tape ball. I dropped it. I got it. Ugh. Tape. Tape. More tape. Ugh. How in the world do I get this tape? Tape. Wrong way. Tape. Tape. Tape, tape, tape. Tape, tape, tape. My tape ball!
All right, guys, you do got to have one of these sweet alignment tools for this cover, because if you do not, this thing will leak, I promise. So better off just go ahead and buy one of these. Mine's the actual Mr. Gasket brand, but I'm sure they make a blue gazillion different ones now. I'm thinking about, I've never bought the one for the rear because I normally just buy the whole cover plate, but I'm thinking about buying a rear one too, because they say those give a lot of trouble. I hadn't really, knock on wood, never had a lot of trouble with it, but I'm thinking about buying one anyway, just for the back. But you just put it on there. Make sure you can twist it roundy, roundy, roundy.
Lefty, loosey, righty, tighty, right, Dada?
That's right, lefty, loosey, righty, tighty. And then you just tighten it down.
Yep. When you tighten it, it goes right.
Make sure that you can still turn it. All right, now I like to get me a ratchet. Double check that.
Okay. There. More tippity tape coming right up on my tape ball. Let me lay that right there.
And it still turns. Now you just clean it off. Take
Dad,
the other end, use it to drive the seal in.
Daddy, will I still be able to see me even though I'm all the way over here?
Yeah.
Okay. Now they can hear me because I have a microphone, right?
Yeah, we got you a microphone so you could talk too, Haven.
Because they couldn't hear me at all
Uh-uh.
when I didn't have one.
All right, and as soon as I figure out where I parked my hammer, there it is.
Daddy, you're
I will
silly.
take the other end of this here tool, and you use it for a little driver, and you just...
Daddy! Dada!
drive it up in there.
Daddy, you're silly.
That's simple.
You were silly when you said, where did you park your... It's not a car.
Well, I had to find it.
You little goof. Daddy's silly. Daddy, after I get done tippy taping my ball, I'll throw everything in the trash and then can I get a little snack?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, no more tippy tape. And I made my tippy tape ball. Oh, tippy tape ball. I don't want to sit in that. I'll lay my tippy tape ball right there. What's that called?
That is the timing cover.
Oh. What in the world change the timing color.
Timing cover. It's got the timing chain behind it. All right, guys. I've just about got the motor put back together. I got to put the front harmonic balancer back on it. I got to put the other valve cover on. I got to change the rear main seal, but it's kind of hard to do that with it on the cherry picker. So I'll have to take it off the cherry picker, change the rear main seal, and then put the oil pan on. And then we'll be ready to start putting it in the truck. So hopefully before long we can start making stuff happen. All right, well, we're going to start put this lift plate back on and then pick it up so I can take the flex plate off and change the rear main seal and the rear main cover plate gasket. Get those changed, and then we'll put the oil pan on, and then we should be ready to bolt it back to the transmission. And then we should be putting it back in. And then we don't have to take it back out. That's like the best part. Put it in that we don't have to take it back out. Because we're running out of time, guys. We're running out of time. All right, now we just need to clear our workspace out so we can pick the cherry picker up. All right, let's see. All right, well, we got the moved around junk here, so we got a little more space to work. We're going to pick this thing up and get it off this here engine stand so that we can put the rear main in and then put the oil pan on and then put the transmission back on. All right, we're going to jack her up just a little here without dumping her on the floor, hopefully. All right. Now we got to go find the oddball size that was, which was odd. Yeah, we might need some new ones of these. All right, but we got it apart. Now we should be able to get this out of the way for right now. And then take these off, which should be a 15. Yes, but I don't know if this little baby gun's going to have quite enough balls. We might have to go get a different gun. Yeah, and it was loud. All right, different gun. All right. Probably need to get something to mop that water up. All right, let's see if we can get you guys turned around. That way you can see what we're doing around here. Probably. Probably not. It probably won't stay. It ain't gonna stay. We're gonna have to reposition the camera. Imagine that. All right, now that we got y'all repositioned, y'all can see what's going on. We're gonna take this cover off. We're gonna change this seal. We're gonna change this gasket. We're gonna clean this thing up. We're gonna put this thing back together. In that order. All right, now we need a rubber. All right, look at that. Not too shabby. And I did get I got to get that out. But I got a billet one from ITC Billet to put in there, the little oil plug thing. Hey, the pocket pliers might get it out. I don't know. We might have to run a screw in it though. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to run a screw in it. Now, hopefully we can pull that right on out of there. Oh yeah, look at that. Like a champ. See, this one's just got one little O-ring and the plastic and the oil can bypass in there. We got one that's got 2 or 3 little O-rings on it. We're gonna get this cleaned up here as soon as I figure out what to do with my Scotch Brite. Here it is. I don't know that you guys can see this, to be honest with you. We might have to turn some lights on. All right, well, we're gonna clean this up right fast and then get this changed out for new seals. Look at that. Now we just need to clean this other one up and get the seal out of it. We gotta get the seal out of it. Alright. And I never had the rear main seal tool, but I have the front Mr. Gasket rear main tool, so I just went ahead and bought this one just because I do a lot of these. So I figured instead of just putting them on and hoping for the best, let's just get the tool. And pretty nice. So we're going to try this out. See how this works. I guess it helps if I go get the gasket. Alright, now that I've got the gasket, we can put a couple bolts through here to hold it together. I always got to kind of shrink that gasket up a little bit. All right. Let's see if we can get her started back up on there. Put a little bit of lube on that O-ring so it goes in there and turns like it's supposed to. But it doesn't actually go all the way up on there like I thought it was. I guess it's just supposed to fit tight around it. Well, it's there. I mean, I would think that that bushing was supposed to be kind of snugged up on there, but all right, well, we'll give it a whirl. All right, well, there it is. So now we're going to clean it off a little. Wipe it down. And then we're going to put the seal in. All right. All right, I'm back. Got the seal, got the silicone. I like to put a little dab of silicone around the edge of mine just for moral support. You know what I mean? It ain't going to do a lot. Probably ain't going to help a whole lot, but, you know, I like to put it in there. It gives me peace of mind anyway. All right, let's put just a little dab of silicone on that, or WD-40, so that it slides up on there better. All right. Now that should go on there. We should be able to take our sweet tool and our hammer and drive that thing right up in there. Look at that. All right. Now we'll clean up our mess here, and we will put the flex plate on And the oil pan. We might go ahead and put the oil pan on first. I got to clean the oil pan up. Crap. And I got to cut the windows tray. Crap. Okay. Oh. Well, that was a waste of a bunch of time. You guys forgot to remind me to put the billet plug in. Now that we've wasted all that time, and I don't really know how to get that seal back out without forking it up, so I guess we're gonna put this thing in here for right now. All right, I gotta get this thing and put that in. All right, now y'all can see the quality. Which one looks a little more like it's gonna work? All right, it wouldn't have done nothing if we wouldn't have had it in there though. We would have had zeros of the oil of the pressure. All right. Yep, that's probably gonna leak. Well, try that again. That time it'll probably leak for sure. But I guess we'll be taking it back apart if it does. Alright, now we're going to get the pan cleaned up and the windows tray. Alright guys, got the oil pan put on. That took a little bit. Had to find a couple different bolts, but I got it. Got the flex plate put back on. And now we're going to see if we can't get this thing laid down. And we're going to bolt the transmission back to it so we can put it back in. See? Trans. Motor. They need to be married together so we don't have to take them back apart. Alright, let's get to it. Alright guys, so that's going to pretty much do it for this video. Alright, thank y'all for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and keep a fat guy motivated because we ain't got a lot of time and we still got to get this thing finished. Thank y'all. Have a blessed day.